Carl, huge thanks for the wine and wine. We're going to have to rename it that, aren't we? My original naming, christening of that group, and our inaugural, I was going to say episode. It's not really an episode. It's a meeting. Was called Beef, Grief and Relief. That's only been met, I think, with laughter and derision. So that may have to go and give way, indeed, to Wine and Wine. So let's do that. Let's make it the Wine and Wine Club. And you, I think, were happy to be there. It's made me feel less alone in my big move. Thank you. Oh, Jackie, it's so nice to hear that. And thank you for being a Good Morning Portugal community supporter. We can see that from the little logo there on your name on the screen there. So thank you very much for your YouTube membership. Talking of YouTube membership and subscription, if I can go from membership to subscription, thank you to everybody who's helped us get to 2,800 subscribers now. So excellent stuff. Thank you very much. It does make a difference. It's a big team effort. Many a mickle makes a muckle. Lots of people doing a little bit. That's how I like this community to work. Some of you doing a lot as well. So much appreciated. You mastermind supporters of the Good Morning Portugal show endeavor as well. Thank you so much. Without all of you, who actually stick your hands in your pocket from time to time and support the show, it wouldn't be possible. So really appreciate it. Thank you very much indeed. And don't forget to take advantage of your perks and benefits over at theportugalclub.com, as well as having that rosy glow of being a supporter of the Good Morning Portugal Club. All sorts of benefits available to those who look after us, whether it be money, time or effort, whatever you bring to the show. So grateful to you in this wonderful team effort of ours that is the Good Morning Portugal show here every weekday morning. Here's another one bag and a passport. Mike and Karen, bon dia from a sunny Miranda de Corvo. Are you coming over for the lunch today? I'm not sure if I can make it today, Mike, but I think quite a few people are amassing at the Storytellers for the I think it's called the fourth Wednesday expat circle lunch, possibly, which sounds like a dance move as well, doesn't it? I'm not sure there will be any house music all lunch long there this afternoon, but have a great time if you're heading towards the Storytellers today. Yes, we are, says Mike there. We'll have a great time. And we'll have a look at the weather, but I think it was beautiful yesterday. I suspect it will be similarly beautiful, and that weather will continue for today as well. Let's make it so. Bon dia, Portugal, from João Ernesto de North. Thank you to you too. Aforementioned expat mastermind supporter of the Good Morning Portugal endeavor. Thank you so much, John. Really appreciate that. And we'll do good and great things along the lines of the conversations we've been having. And we have a great guest this morning who I think will be able to point us in the right direction or join forces to support young Portuguese entrepreneurs. We've got Stuart Noakes joining us at 8:40 this morning, and the doc is back. And the thing I need to ask the doc this morning is, does he still believe in politics? I think quite a few people are quite disillusioned with politics at the moment, aren't they? The general effect on society, there may be some policies that people do or don't like, and in quite the strong way, it has to be said. And maybe that's part of the problem, is how polarizing everything is and the effect of politics. Does the doc still believe in politics and the political process? That will be my first question for him when he joins us at 8:20. The outspoken Doc Thompson, Andy the Doc Thompson, former GP in the UK. Outspoken as he has been for many months, years now, here on the Good Morning Portugal show. And I always mention him when everyone accuses me of being a far-right sympathizer, which does happen. I can say, well, actually, the longest-standing political correspondent on the Good Morning Portugal show is actually a Marxist. So he'll be here at 8:20. Bon dia to you as well, Pam. How are you doing this morning? Lots to share with you. Not least, honey, we bought a farm, or you can do. A council is selling 29 sheep and other animals, a story which caught my eye, an article which caught my eye. But before we go there, let's revel, shall we, in the beauty of Portugal for a moment. Now, Nick, do you remember we went round a Chinese shop with Nick last week? I met him at the weekend. Lovely bloke, British guy, fascinating life story and journey so far on this crazy adventure we call life. Very interesting man. He has Portugal in his sights now, and he's touring around in his camper van, and he's making incredible films like this. This is a kind of slideshow, I think, rather than a video, but we'll play some of his music. in our unfolding relationship and getting to know Nick better. I think he's going to be part of this community in due course. I think it looks like a slideshow to me, and it's a place called Murtola, which I've heard of but never been to. It's absolutely beautiful. Some stills from him as well. Oh, I'm talking of, did I mention that he was a musician? He's a very gifted guitarist, professional guitarist. Always plays music every day, it would seem. Sat by his van by a river. He's living that sort of bohemian, troubadour sort of lifestyle. And he's going to share some of his music with us, as is Gary Taylor. We'll finish the show today with some rock. If you like some rock music, a bit on the metal side, then and it's very popular in this household with Mrs. M. I'm more of a soul, jazz, and funk guy. Mrs. M likes to rock out, and she's loving the music of local lad Gary Taylor, whose music will feature as we go out today at around 9 o'clock, of course. But here's a little montage, a Murtola montage. Who doesn't like an alliteration first thing in the morning? Here's Nick's little visual report from Murtola. Did I mute myself up, or could you hear me talking over that or not? I don't know. Is everybody ready for Carnival? There we go. That's it. The mention of politics was it enough, wasn't it, to say, yay, let's dance and drink instead? I'm not actually, Pam, not yet. It's ages away. Yeah, it's at least 2 days away. Bonded to you as well, Mel. Well, sorry if I wasn't heard with a commentary over Nick's beautiful pictures, but they speak for themselves. And here's a couple more. This is looking over the Guadiana River Valley. Isn't that beautiful? I think these were snapped and sent to me yesterday. Absolutely gorgeous pictures. And that's Nick on his journey around discovering Portugal. He who made us dizzy running around a Chinese shop the other day. Right, let's go to that news article. Honey, let's buy a farm. Now, I realized with some of the YouTube content I've been watching recently, and with some of the things going on in the world, I originally came to Portugal. Oh, so you didn't. You missed my marvelous commentary over that. Instead of unmuting, I muted myself. Never mind. Let's move on. It's fine. All my best work seems to end up with the Tupperware lids and the socks from the washing machine. Lost forever. Unknown. Its whereabouts unknown. I hope you can hear me now. Right. Let's go to the Portugal news. Yeah. And as I was saying, when I first moved to Portugal, it was going to be about living in the countryside, maybe with a small holding. And I have to say, just recently, I have been reminded of the idyllic sort of existence that many come to Portugal to live. I've ended up in a semi-detached house in a seaside town. It wasn't the plan. It wasn't the plan. But maybe I'm thinking, yeah, I've been reminded about that, and maybe the thing to do is to buy 29 sheeps, 29 sheep, some goats, and a pig. Ponte Lima, John, have you heard about this? Ponte Lima City Council, has launched a public auction to sell 29 animals of native breeds from Quinta de Panteiros for a base price of 1,560 euros to control the number of animals. The announcement, published in the official gazette, the DR, includes two lots, the first of which, with a base value of 1,260 euros, includes 11 Bordelera breed lambs from the Entredouro y Minho, 3 Bravia breed kids, 2 Bravia breed reject goats. What? 11 Bordelera breed reject sheep. So, I mean, they sound quite expensive for rejects. When you go to a factory shop and you're buying the rejected stuff, it's normally a bargain. These sound quite quite expensive to me for rejects. Maybe that it's not as bad as it sounds, perhaps there. But you're talking about, well, I'm talking about reject sheep and possibly goats here. In the second lot, there's a bizarre pig for sale, €300. Contacted by the Lusa news agency, the Councillor for Environment and Green Spaces, Gonzalo Rodriguez, explained that the sale is made whenever the number of animals exceeds the capacity of the Quinta de Penteiros facilities and raises pressure problems on the pastures. Well, there you go. There's the explanation. The head of the Ponte Lima Council in the district of Viana do Castelo explained that the base value of the public, this is some serious detail, is defined after consulting the agricultural market, those interested in purchasing the animals. Now, please don't have a whip round just because I said I want to live in the countryside again and be part of the rural revival of Portugal. Please don't buy these, have a kind of a crowd fund, a whip round, buy these and send them to my house, because it's not going to go down well in my neighborhood. I've got to buy the farmland first to put these on. Those interested in purchasing the animals must submit proposals by March the 10th and are required to maintain them for 30 days from the end of that day. Is that to make sure you're serious? Have you been to this place, John? Quinta de Penteiros is part of the protected area of the lagoons of Bertiandos. We're finding out about some beautiful places this morning. Bertiandos and São Pedro de Arcos, created in 2000 when José Sócrates was Minister for the Environment. The protected area includes equipment aimed at interpreting heritage, such as an environmental interpretation centre, a network of ecological trails. It sounds fantastic. And historical cultural routes, or routes if you're American. Penteiros Farm has a 3-star campsite and caravan park. It sounds fabulous. A hostel, the farm's former stables, they sound nice. Bungalows, accommodation units that complement the campsite, a reception centre, an educational farm, a forest park, a country house, and a watchman's house, among others. It sounds like a wonderful place. And they're selling off their surplus of sheep, goats, and a pig, just a random piggy as well there. Isn't that amazing? I bet if you're in the market for 29 sheep, and that is not a small undertaking, if you can house these creatures, it sounds like you might be having a little bit of a bargain there. Mel, are you interested? Plenty of farmland and rural small towns on the Silver Coast, best of both. I think you're right. For a long time, I've thought to myself, the triangle. Anyway, thank you, Little Piggy there, and the Portugal news. I've thought to myself, if you triangulate Nazaré, Peniche, and the other point of the triangle, obviously going east inland, that's a remarkable place that it is as yet. I'm gonna be quiet about that, because every time I say, "Oh, this is a remarkable secret here in Portugal," they start building houses there. But you're absolutely right, Mel. There is some incredible farmland and rural small towns. Perfect for the Central Portugal rural revival. Oh, news from Alcobaça as well. We had our first mosquito in the bedroom last night. What you do in your own private life is no, I see what you mean. Okay, it's warm enough now to have a mosquito arrive. I noticed a fly yesterday. I was having an afternoon snooze yesterday and was troubled by a fly. So it's the season, and I reframed it, and instead of being grumpy about a fly and using my forehead as a landing strip, and understandably so, pilots use my forehead to navigate into Lisbon Airport when they're coming over the Silver Coast. It is a large area, it has to be said. And I thought to myself, fly, bad. And I thought, oh, fly, it's a good sign. The weather's, the temperature's rising, and the stagnant sewers are clearly a nice breeding ground now for mosquitoes, as are the marshes and swamps in the local area for flies. Fantastic. Okay, speaking of clearance shops, the CNA in Leiria is closing. No! Just when I thought CNA were over and were finished in the UK, I came to Portugal to see that CNA is alive and well in Santarém and in Leiria, but it's closing. Bargain prices. Strangely, they mostly have really big sizes. Is that why they're going out of business? I wonder. Bon dia. Or are you saying that strangely because you think those sizes would go quickly, Pam? I don't know what that reference is to there, but I'm sad to see that CNA, Canda was their brand, wasn't it? In the way that, was it St. Michael was the brand image of M&S. candor was CNAs. Bom dia, Campos, from James. Feliz Cata todos. Como estás? E querer o vosso dia. Muito obrigado. Muito bem, obrigado. To you, James. Right. So on to well-being then. We'll be talking about, well, you can ask your health and well-being questions of the doc if we can fit anything in to our political conversation that we will have at 8:20. In the larger sense, we're not going to be taking chunks out of each other, left or right, red or blue, blue or red, depending on which side of the Atlantic you're on. Just the bigger picture, really. Is the doc still believe in politics? I wonder. Does he still believe in the political process? He's joining me behind the scenes now, and he will be cogitating upon that very idea in the 5 minutes until we speak to him in the Good Morning Portugal part of the show, and Stuart Noakes joining us at 8:40 as well. So we'll enjoy, I'm sure, a robust 20 minutes with the doc, and then we'll be able to find out how we can support entrepreneurs, find out more about entrepreneurs in Portugal with Stuart Noakes of Canopy, who's over here in Portugal at the moment. Just wanted to do one or two well-being things, a nice segue from yesterday's Wellbeing Tuesday. Great debut from Mel. Lovely to see Marion again. And don't forget, she's got her Qigong class in Caldash, to which you're invited. First session free, I believe. Or is that somebody else? No, that's the Zumba class. I don't know what Marion's deal is, and I should have asked her. I think the doc will like this. Some memes and some well-being advice. And can you take part in this, please? You especially, Doc. Did you know that your Portuguese stripper name is the last Portuguese food you ate and the color of your cuecas, which happen to be underpants? A nice bit of vocabulary for you there. Hopefully it wasn't chorizo and that your underpants are red. The red sausage, I suppose, is quite a good name for a stripper, to be fair. Mine was plaid soup. I don't think plaid soup is a great name for a stripper. I don't think I've ever seen a strip show in my life. You'd think I'd remember, wouldn't you? But I've never been to a strip club and don't intend to go now. But I thought this was quite amusing from Portuguese e-cards. And you know what? If I do start an OnlyFans, or if times get really tough, it is a career move I am prepared to consider. But I might need a better name than plaid soup for my act. What's the name for your act? I can see that the doc is thinking, what was the last Portuguese food I had? And have I got any underpants on? Right. Come back to him in just a minute. Pam, is that CNA stores that were in the UK in the 70s? It is. It so is. It's not the same company. Tell me, it is the same company. It's absolutely the same company. More well-being advice then. Tell me if you do any of these, and we can check in with the doc to see if he thinks these are really silly things to do, or they might be beneficial to your health. Oh, hold on a minute. CNA news. No. What? They have sizes you don't normally see. Oh, okay. At all, up to 6 times. I think the Leria store has long been a clearance shop. I don't think all CNAs are closing. Woo! A sigh of relief from many CNA fans in our community here. Right, the $1 million morning routine. So let's go through these together, as well as you figuring out what the last Portuguese thing you ate and the color of your underpants is. And I might have to take the banner off for a moment. Yes, wake up between 5 and 6. Nope. If I did, it was accidentally. Get out of bed immediately. Nope. I like the snooze button, which gives me a little bit of liminal space and a chance to be in dreamland for a little bit longer. No social media or news. Nope. I listened to some LBC whilst I was doing my ablutions. Meditate for 5 or 10 minutes. Nope. That tends to take place later on in the day, if at all. Go for a 30-minute morning walk. Nope. I might be doing that later with the dogs. Take a cold shower. Nope. Mine was warm. I'm never going to make $1 million at this rate. How are you doing on this checklist? Read an article or 15 pages of a book. What? Homework? First thing in the morning? Affirm yourself. I did affirm myself, and I hope you did too this morning. Journal your morning thoughts. I was treated to Phil's, of course, fill my cup with a bit of affirmation. I didn't journal my morning thoughts. I was corresponding with Doug, explaining to him why I threw him out of one of our WhatsApp groups. That's not the same, is it? Eat a healthy breakfast. Nope. I'm going to be broke at this rate. I'm going to be broker. Set 3 goals for the day. Kind of. Yes, I did write things down to do today. So I've got 1 out of, 8, 9, 10. 1 out of 11 at the moment, and start making money. Well, I guess this would count as that. This would count as that. This is my livelihood as much as it is my hobby. And sometimes it's a very thin line, I've got to tell you. Start making money. Yeah. So 2 out of 12. How did you get on with that? And just briefly then, before we bring the doc on, here are some mental health tips for you as well. Talk about your feelings. Fair enough. Now, why there's a sheep there, I do not know. Keep active. Yep, fair enough. He's doing a bit of skipping, that gentleman there. Eat and potato. And here, in terms of mental health, it looks like a packet of McDonald's chips for your mental health there. And it's and potato, not a potato. I don't know if that's a special thing. Recite a dark spell. Is that good for your mental health? It might be, but it might not be very good for the person you recite a dark spell about. Throw your phone in the lake. Yay, that's a good one. But actually, that would be quite, you'd regret that soon after, wouldn't you? And that would be a terrible, savage blow to your mental health as you're trying to live your life without a phone that you just threw in the lake. Kiss a bird gently. And not in the 70s chauvinist sense, kiss a nice bird. No, it's a pigeon, everybody. And don't try that with a seagull, because that could end badly. Scowl. Now, for your mental health. Well, why not? Make fun of someone you don't like. Again, might be okay for your mental health, but not for theirs. And this one belongs to the $1 million list, isn't it? Lie down in the dirt and let the earth slowly reclaim you. That sounds like a mental health. That sounds like a complete giving up. I don't think the doc's very happy with these. Let's talk to him now. It's Good Morning Portugal, everybody. And the doc is joining us. Woo! How you doing there?
Yeah, good. Thank you, Carl.
Feels like it's been a while.
Yeah. It has. Yeah. But,
Are you still thinking about your underpants?
I have indeed. Yeah, I've got them on. Yeah, my stripper name would be Pastel Preta.
That's classy. That. No touching. Very Pastel Preta. Well, check you out. Yeah, I want to see that. Right. So what else is new? And the big question, do you still believe in politics, Doc? Anyone